Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my viewers, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Money Talk with Dr. Tony Ibabuchi. Today we are continuing with our series on decentralized finance, which is actually where the future of finance is. Before I go on, please, I would implore you to, if this is your first time of coming into my channel, to please press the subscription button or the bell button, so that anytime I upload new videos, you'll be able to see them. I also implore you to please share these videos so that other people who are not aware of this channel will also know, so that when they would when I would upload new videos, they will also see them. In my last video, I tried to introduce the centralized finance, and I tried to build an introductory background explaining what DeFi, decentralized finance, and CeFi, decentralized finance, means. Today, I'm going to continue on the video that I posted earlier, and this is the second part. I told you earlier that I'm going to run some series on decentralized finance, which is the future of finance. So today I'm going to look at clearly some of the advantages of decentralized finance, DeFi, over centralized finance, CeFi. So I would advise, if you have not watched the first video, please go back and watch it so that you'll be able to follow, because it's only when you are able to see the first video that you have an understanding of where we're coming from. So today we are going to look at some of the advantages of decentralized finance over centralized finance, going by our last discussion, and some of the salient points we brought out. One of the advantages of decentralized finance is that there is unlimited access to financial services under decentralized finance. Under decentralized finance, because it runs on open protocol, once you have a phone, whether an Android or an iPhone, that means you already have an account. So you can just get into the internet, get into the blockchain platform, which is an open protocol, and you can immediately, have access to financial transactions. Yes, today a lot of banks have tried to innovate around that space, where they try to make your mobile number your account number. But it's still not working, because there are a lot of people in the hinterlands, in the villages, that though they have mobile numbers, they don't have all the necessary documentations that banks actually require, all the KYC documentations. They don't have BVN. Some of them don't even have NIN, not to talk of IDs, valid means of ID. So all these things inhibit the freedom or the flexibility, or how easy it is for these people in the hinterlands to open an account. But using decentralized finance, it means that people will have access to financial transactions, so much so that in Nigeria today, the issue we have where we are looking about financial inclusion becomes a thing of the past, because once everybody is able to get on the DeFi platform and run their financial transactions, then it means that the issue of financial inclusion would have been solved. Because in Nigeria today, so many people are unbanked, which is one of the reasons and one of the problems that the central bank have been trying to solve in the recent years. Today too, not everybody have, by reason of the fact that there is lack of accessibility, not everybody under centralized finance has access to financial transactions. Okay, another area that decentralized finance, DeFi, is better than decentralized finance is that under decentralized finance, there is there is no centralized control. There is no central bank, quite unlike in the CeFi, where the central bank controls things like the money supply, all those economic parameters. The monetary policy committee determines the exchange rate, and other economic indices and financial indices that guides financial transactions. But under decentralized finance, there's nothing like a centralized control. It is an open protocol where anybody can come in, like I said earlier, and transact. A second advantage under decentralized finance, decentralized control under the DeFi is that protocols can be forked. And forking, I mean Forke. Forking means somebody takes up an existing DeFi app that runs on a DeFi, on blockchain technology, and looks at it and decide. And when he sees a flaw, either that the administrator in that app is given so much authority that it begins to mirror the centralized central bank system, anybody can go in, look at it, and then fork, tweak that app and then redeploy it, and it becomes his app. So that's one of the flexibilities in DeFi. Anybody can go in, take an existing app, modernize it, change some things that he feels is not proper, then redeploy it, and it runs as his own apps. So there is so much decentralized system under DeFi. Another reason under DeFi is that there is improved efficiency under DeFi. Like I said earlier in my introductory stage, under DeFi, transactions happen online, real time. As you're paying a particular counterparty who is your business partner, and you're moving value, either coin, either Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of these currencies, digital currencies. As you're moving it from your position to the next person's position, that person is getting it immediately. So there's less time, less cost, because you also pay, like I said in my introductory video, you also pay just a little token in terms of the administrative costs. It's not an interest even just to maintain the platform. It's cheaper, and it's also very secure. Okay, quite unlike the centralized finance (CFI), where as you're making transactions from one bank or one account to the other, it usually takes if it's instant, you get it that day if the network is okay. But if it's other transfer windows, you usually have T+1 +2 days, which is not good enough. There's also the issue of cost, because you pay the interest rate if you're borrowing, you pay transaction charges if you're just doing a simple transaction, you pay account management charges, you pay cash handling charges, a lot of all these charges. All these things add up to the transaction cost under the centralized system of banking. Another very interesting point I need to bring out here that makes DeFi far better than CFI is that there's interoperability in under DeFi, under decentralized system. What I mean by interoperability is that it is possible under DeFi for financial institutions to operate interchangeably, quite unlike a centralized system of banking where every financial institution operates in silos. Like under the CFI, it's a bit difficult to move money from one account in one bank to another account in another bank, or even from one account in another bank of the same person to another account in another bank of the same person. Usually takes a while. But under the decentralized system of financial transaction, once a transaction or a position can be tokenized, and what I mean tokenized is that once a position, a financial value can be put in token, it becomes easy for that particular token to be used in another platform, and that is the concept of DeFi Legos. Now, look at this DeFi operation as Lego. We all played this game called Lego, okay? Loggo. We build blocks with Lego. Now, think of this Lego where you take a particular Lego block and you can fix it in any Lego block, even another Lego that is not of the same product with your particular Lego brand, in as much as it can fit. So DeFi Legos are the concept that is used to explain the interoperability of decentralized finance, where a tokenized position in a particular platform, in a particular DeFi app, can be used as a financial derivative, and be plugged into another platform where the same value will be given to that token and can be used in another platform. For example, you can have a Bitcoin token that can also be used and operatable in another platform, in as much as they all use the same hashing algorithm. Okay, so these are the interoperability that you see in decentralized finance that you don't see in centralized finance. So DeFi allows interoperability. It allows tokens to be used in different platforms, quite unlike in a CeFi, centralized finance, where banking institutions operate in silos. They operate individually. They don't interoperate between themselves. And for them to interoperate, there must be a switching company in the middle that will be able to make them speak to themselves. And those switching companies, they come at a cost. They also have the issue of inefficiency, and they also have an issue of time wasting. Another beautiful advantage of DeFi, decentralized finance, is that there is opacity under centralized finance. Centralized finance is opaque. It's not transparent. For example, there is very little transparency between what happens when you send money from one bank to the other. You don't know what happens. You don't know what happens between the bank where their money is moving to the beneficiary bank, and in between and them an interswitch. You don't even know what happened. So it's these days, under the centralized system of banking, it's also difficult for bank users to be able to tell the health of any particular bank, because they don't even see the balance sheets. But under decentralized finance, because you also see the position on this DeFi platform, when you come into the DeFi platform, you'll see everybody's position. So if, for example, Mr. A wants to transfer value to Mr. B, and Mr. A does not have that value, it becomes very clear to everybody that, hey, Mr. A does not have that value that he wants to transfer to Mr. B. There is no hidden thing about it. Everybody is seeing everybody's position. Okay, so decentralized finance is transparent, is very clear, whereas centralized finance is opaque, it's not transparent. There is so much details that people that use the financial services don't know. All they know is that they trust their financial institution. And for me, that's blind trust, which also has been, saving us. But we are saying under decentralized finance that we can do better by not by seeing clearly what is happening. So that's briefly one of the things that we want to bring out on the difference between centralized finance and decentralized finance. And you see, one of the advantages of the features of decentralized finance is that because of all these things I have listed, it becomes very easy. It becomes very easy for for all financial transactions to be financed under decentralized finance. Now let me give you a scenario what I mean to bring out this clearly now. In a centralized financial system that we run currently today in the whole world, including Nigeria, and it's called CeFi. If for example, a customer wants to finance a very high yielding business. He has sat down, he has done all his financial analysis, but he doesn't have the money to finance it. He's a new to bank customer, so as we say, it's a startup company. In Nigeria, mostly in Nigeria today, it will be difficult for such startup companies to even get funding in Nigerian banking system. Why? Because one, they don't have the pedigree, so to say. They don't have the financial record, so to say. They don't have the experience, so to say. They don't have the collateral that the banks will require, so to say. That is what happens under centralized finance. So you see financial transactions, investment with high return on investment being relegated to the background just because the promoters of that business are startups. The promoters of that business don't have access to financial transactions. So those businesses will not be financed. Meanwhile, those are the type of businesses that would go towards contributing to positive GDP of the country. But under DeFi, it becomes easy for such businesses with high return on investment to be able to get on the decentralized app platform and be able to get investors who are ready to invest funds without looking for any bank collateral, without looking for your pedigree. All they want is to be able to see that the return on investment in this project is real and is achievable, and within a short period you will get your funds. This is one of the advantages of decentralized finance, and what the features of decentralized finance that we have just enumerated: decentralized control, access to financial transaction, efficiency in terms of cost and time, lack of operability in terms of operating individual, and then transparency. So all these advantages go to add to the possibility of financial transactions under decentralized finance. In Nigeria today, we are struggling to have financial inclusion, but this decentralized financial system could give us all we need without stress. It could also improve our GDP, because every profitable business proposal will be able to source the required funds by talking to peers, because when you get on the platform, because the DeFi platform, which runs on the blockchain technology, is a peer-to-peer transaction. Once you have a beautiful business that is profitable and you get on the platform, you will see your peers who will also be interested in getting into business, and they should be able to finance your transaction. So it becomes easier for people to finance projects under DeFi. It becomes also easier for these projects that are financed to contribute positively to the gross domestic product of the country. Today, in the whole world, you see a lot of countries where the GDP growth or the economic growth projection most times are not even above 3% or 4% or at most 5%. Today, in Nigeria, our estimated growth rate has for this year and next year 2023 has been reduced by researchers and international bodies from about 3% to about 2.5% or so. It's going down. Now, what I'm saying is that this decentralized finance can actually also benefit, the country, the nations, the economies, if they could liberalize financial transactions using decentralized financial system, to grow their domestic product and also make the economy better. So these are some of the benefits of decentralized finance, DeFi, both to the individual financial consumers and also to the country as a whole. It is believed in our subsequent videos we should be able to bring out also other areas that you see where DeFi is important. So DeFi, decentralized finance, is the future of finance. It has come to stay and is something that all of us should start thinking towards. I will stop this so far. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, YouTube channel. Don't also fail to click the bell button. Also to send how would I say, to share the video to everyone, so that all your friends could also watch and also get informed. Thank you very much, and see you again in my next video. Bye.